In this lecture, we will be talking about the computation of inverse DFT using FFT algorithm. Just like we can compute the forward DFT, that is simple DFT using FFT algorithm, we can also use this FFT algorithm for computing the inverse discrete Fourier transform. For example, if we are given the discrete Fourier transform and we are asked to find out the time domain sequence, that is we are asked to find out the inverse discrete Fourier transform, then also we can make use of these FFT algorithms, and we should make use of these FFT algorithms because they are fast in computation, and we get less number of computations with high speed. So that's why we should use these algorithms, but this algorithm requires slight modification when we are computing the IDFT. Now what is that modification? Let us try to see in this slide. Now we know that IDFT's equation is given by this formula. You can see on the screen, this is the IDFT formula. Now in this IDFT formula, if I want to make use the FFT algorithm, I should modify this equation in such a fashion that it will look like my DFT. So how can we modify this in order to make it look like DFT? Okay, so the thing is that what we have to do is we have to take the complex conjugate of this equation and multiply both sides by n. So when we do this, what change we get, what changes occur in this equation? So you can see the changes that take place in this equation here. Now what is the change that has taken place? In on the right hand side we have got this equation. Now if you closely look at this equation is nothing but the DFT of x conjugate of k. That means in our normal DFT equations, when we computed the normal DFT equations, we had the simple equation of DFT. Okay, but now this simple equation of DFT is getting just modified in this fashion. Only we are having here the complex conjugate. So in the normal DFT equation we have x of k, but here we are having x conjugate of k. So that doesn't make much problematic, because instead of giving x of k as an input, we can give x of conjugate of k as an input. So when we give x conjugate k as an input to our algorithm, it will compute in similar fashion the output. Okay, so that's why in this way, this is the trick of using the IDFT computation for FFT algorithms. Like FFT algorithms can be used for IDFT computation. Now but here we are having an extra n, and this is a x conjugate of n. So what to do with this? We can simply divide whatever output we get by dividing by n, and we can take again the complex conjugate of x star of n, so we'll get x of n. So that is this. Okay, so these are the modifications. To summarize, what are the steps required to compute IDFT? First, we have to take the complex conjugate of x of k, because given is x of k, but we want but in this equation it requires x star of k, so we have to take the complex conjugate of k. Second, we can compute the DFT, normal DFT of this, because this is the DFT equation. So we can compute, this is the DFT equation, so we can compute it by using the DIT or DIF algorithm, any algorithm we can use. Next, what we have to take, whatever output we get, we have to take the complex conjugate, because we are getting here x star of n. So in order to convert this x star of n into x of n, we have to take the complex conjugate of this, and finally we have to divide it by capital N so that we get x of n. So this is how we can compute the IDFT of a sequence of any DFT given by making use of the FFT algorithm. Now let us see this with the help of a numerical. Now in this case, x of k is given here. So we are given x of k. So you can see this is a complex number. So this is your IDFT, this is your DFT that is given, and we are asked to compute the IDFT. We are asked to compute the IDFT using DIT algorithm. That means decimation in time frequency FFT algorithm. So simple thing, what we do, first we draw the butterfly structure. So we know the butterfly structure, we remember the basic butterfly for DIT FFT. So this is our basic butterfly structure for DIT FFT. So first we are having the trivial factor, then we are having the minus sign. So this is our trivial factor, so here we will have the minus 1 sign. So you have to draw the minus 1 sign each and every at every place. Okay, so here this is minus 1, here it is minus 1. Similarly for every butterfly, so this here it is minus 1, here it is minus 1. This is the butterfly, so here it is minus 1, here it is minus 1, and here everything everywhere we are having these butterflies. So this is minus 1, minus 1, -1 and -1. So after this you have to give the input. Now you have not to give the input directly. What you have to do, first thing is you have to bit reverse the input. So 04261537. So this is the bit reversed input we have seen in the while discussing the algorithm and also in the numerical. But one thing what you have to do here, it is given x of k, you have to make it x star of k. That is, you have to take the conjugate of k. Now what is conjugate of a complex number? The complex conjugate of a number is that the real part remains the same but the sign of the imaginary part changes. So instead of here minus 0.707 minus j 0.707, the conjugate of this will be minus 0.707 plus j 0.707. So the sign of the real part will remain same but only the sign of the imaginary part will change. So you have to give the input to this algorithm, to this butterfly, in the first thing in the bit reversed order, and second we have to take the conjugate of this and give it as input. Next we compute the twiddle factors as our normal case which we had computed in the previous numericals also. So we require W80, W81, W82 and W83. Only 4 twiddle factors we require for computation. First is 1 because it is 0, e raised to 0 is 1. Second, we make use by Euler's identity. Now once we do this, now we go further for doing the calculations. So now the calculations are similar to what we have already earlier solved. Only in this case we are getting the conjugates here. There we will getting the normal number. So you can see here S10 is what, x star of 0 plus x4 of 0 into W80. But since W80 is 1, so this will be 7 plus 1, that is 8. Similarly here, what will be the output S11? It will be, what you can see here, what is the basic butterfly output? A minus this twiddle factor into B. So this is same now. A, that is x star of 0 minus x star of 4 into this twiddle factor. So this twiddle factor is W40 and this is x star of 4. So we will get the output as 6. So this is the basic butterfly computation. So all the computations you can do similarly. So every output you can get here in this fashion. So once you get all these outputs of the stage 1 in the same fashion, so there are 8 inputs here. Okay, so for these 8 inputs you will get these outputs, 8 outputs. So all these outputs you have to compute of the first stage. So this is your DIT algorithm. Now after that the stage 2 computation starts. In the stage 2 computation, remember, this is the first butterfly. So this is the output of the first butterfly, this is the output of the first butterfly, then this is the output of the second butterfly, this is the output of the second butterfly. So in this way you have to compute the output. So again we go by that fashion. I am not explaining again in detail because we have already done this in the previous video, how to do the computation for this DIT FFT algorithm. So again we do all these computations. So do carefully these computations because here it is a complex number. So you get the outputs of the stage 2 here, and finally the stage 3 computation. So this is our first butterfly, second butterfly, third butterfly and fourth butterfly. So again we are getting the same outputs here. So this is the output of the first butterfly, second output of the first butterfly, then first output of the second butterfly, second output of the third butterfly, and so on. Second but so all these 4 outputs you can compute here. But now the thing is, like we have got here, whatever output we have got, it is the complex conjugate of the time domain sequence multiplied by capital N. So our capital N is equal to 8. So what we have to do, in order to get the time domain sequence, we have to divide whatever we have got the answer by N. So you can see here, every whatever output we have got, we have divided it by capital N, that is 8, and whatever number we get, we take the complex conjugate of this because this is x star of n and we require x of n. But you can see here we are getting all the real numbers. There is no imaginary part. So even if you take the complex conjugate, your answer will be same. So in this way we can write the IDFT simple manner. It is all ones and one is 0 because here whatever output we had got, we had divided by n, and then whatever after dividing by n, whatever the sample value we get, we have to take the complex conjugate of that. But the complex conjugate of this all values, whatever is there, x star of 2, x star of 3, it will be equal to 1 only because there is no imaginary part here. So there is no need of changing any sign of the imaginary part, no question of changing because it is 0. So in this way we can solve the numericals of IDFT using FFT algorithms. Okay, so slight change in the FFT algorithm can help us to compute the IDFT using these FFT algorithms. Okay, thank you.